I've got
Okay, 30 seconds, go!
Fantasy Grounds is up and running, so everybody that's not in, feel free.
Okay, I'm going live now with the stream.
Hey, do those cards do anything for you?
Oh, I opened up 4, and I left the other 4 on Drax's desk to open up. It's really
cool.
hard to tell because they're in Japanese. But
alternate artwork doesn't help.
yeah. Wait, what? They have alternate artwork? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point
Pretty
of it.
sure.
That they have like anime artwork instead of the normal ones.
Oh, when you said they were anime style, I thought that was just Kai speak for Japanese.
No, yeah, it's like a not necessarily collectors, but like an import sort of thing. I mean, I don't know if you want to play with them, but hopefully
Well,
it'll
I
be-
did see one that was it definitely looked like an anime character rather than the typical realistic artwork. So
Right.
you must be right. Yeah, it was cool looking. But yeah, it's gonna be tough to find out what they are and what they're worth, but they're cool to look at.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what it was, just like a
Right.
collector's thing.
Yeah, I
I'll
appreciate
figure
you,
it
man.
out.
Yeah, I was like, Drax, you got this, buddy.
Because
We can
these are fucking cool.
Google image search or something. But thank you, Kai. That was really cool of you.
Oh man, we got some good cards here, bro.
Dude, I got 2 foils. One of them was a fucking rare. Did you see that?
No, I haven't gotten that far, I guess.
Yeah, I got some good shit.
I am sweating so much, man. It sucks.
I'm sorry.
You okay?
I'm in here in my cooler, like,
And it has nothing to do with the heat, though.
oh. Oh, you're sick, huh?
Menopause.
Yeah.
Menopause.
Yeah, menopause.
Ah.
Fantasy Grounds.
Yes, indeed.
Burns grand.
All right.
I was distracted
Hind,
by Japanese magic cards.
Hind,
Yes.
have you got the stream going? Or
I do indeed.
okie dokie then.
Oh boy. The heat, though.
Oh. Oh, you're sick, huh?
Menopause.
Menopause.
So you guys chose to take your findings about the Nimblewright
That is
location.
super duper loud. Hold on.
Zach Porter's live.
Nice, good.
What the fuck?
What's up, Drax?
Ah! Mute! That didn't work! What?
Oh no.
Okay, so that's way too loud for me, and it's at 1%.
What?
That's weird.
Turn
Oh,
everybody
wait,
else
no,
up.
I'm on my phone! Ha ha! 1 second.
I had to go up and then back down with mine whenever I'm on my phone.
Alright, try it again. Is it playing?
It is now. It is now.
There we go.
The time is now.
Okay.
Alright, much better. Okay, sorry. I have Discord up on my computer and my phone, so I was like messing with my computer and I'm attached on my phone, so of course that volume setting doesn't work.
Okay. So you guys chose to take your findings about the Nimblewright's location to the City Watch and requested the presence of Detective Barnabas Blastwind and his partner Saith Cromley. Captain Alice Caledona of the City Watch sat in on your meeting as you explained the situation. You managed to convince the old groundskeeper, Herv, to unlock the gate to Growlhund Villa, and then made your way around the back door. There you found the guardhouse was empty, and could now hear shouting and combat inside. You kicked down the door to find that several servants had already been killed, and upon entering the great hall of the manor, you found the floor littered with the bodies of dead house guards of House Growlhund. The Centarum attacked you on sight. Sorry, what was that, Kai?
Yeah, I was just saying it wasn't me. I didn't do that.
So you fought your way through the Zentarum and upstairs to find the last standing member of House Gralhund's guard, Lady Gralhund's personal bodyguard, a half-orc named Hurabaz. You also found Erstal Floxen kicking down the door to another room,
Son of a
where
bitch.
Orond Gralhund had barricaded himself and was cowering in fear. Todrin came into the room in time to hear Erstal shouting at Orond, asking, "Where did it go?" With that, Bart turned to the nimble right detector once more and realized the construct had escaped in the chaos. The room prominently featured a teleportation circle, which, when Todrin engaged Ursel Floxen, the runes lit up and a dark mage from his vision appeared and released a powerful lightning bolt, killing nearly him and Serval in the blast. With the fighting over, the investigation began. Captain Alice Caledona quickly stepped in, and it became very apparent that she was attempting to protect the Gralhunds for some reason. We went downstairs to the library with Barnabas and Saith to discuss the pieces of the puzzle, and eventually Barnabas pulled Bart aside and asked him, unofficially, to sneak upstairs and check the bedroom, while he kept the family busy downstairs. Bartholomew Missy stepped up to the balcony and began searching the room. He found a key to the chest at the foot of the bed. And I'll let you decide whether or not you want to share the contents thereof.
Within the chest, I found 2 robes that are very finely made, that are red, trimmed with gold thread, that I'm pretty sure belonged to
Wizards
a
of Fate.
cult of Asmodeus.
Oh shit.
No. And I found several amulets, 2 amulets to be exact, of that would be used in the worship of Asmodeus.
Meanwhile, Serval snuck around to the coach house, talked to a stable boy out, and found 4 gold bars in a small chest tucked beneath the seats of the Gralhund's private coach. And from there, you guys have returned to Trollskull Manor, and you guys are just entering the door of the Restless Tavern's tap room. Right?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
All right.
Boy, I timed the
Fixing my
music pretty
windows.
good.
1 sec. Yeah, you did. So once we walk in, I turn around. Is there anybody else in the tavern? Yeah, you.
Oh
you
yeah,
have the
it's
map. Never mind.
you guys are entering. It's late afternoon at this point. You're pretty much just entering at
Busy
prime time. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So once we walk in, I turn around. Upstairs now.
All
And I
right.
go upstairs.
I'm limping, but I follow him.
All right. So you guys, I guess, are going upstairs to the common room.
Yeah, where we can be alone. Because I'm not going to talk about Asmodeus in the open.
All right. There you are.
All right. So once we get upstairs. All right. So once we get upstairs, I turn around and I sit down, and I'm just like, well, we have several problems. 1, the Gralhunds worship Asmodeus.
Oh hell.
The second being, Asmodeus is somehow involved.
See first point?
What are we going to do about this?
Kazan, what would you normally typically do in a situation where you found proof of Asmodeus?
So when you guys were investigating the Hillcrest jewelry store, you knew then. Technically speaking, worship of Asmodeus or any other devil or even demons is technically not illegal in the city of
God.
Waterdeep.
Who did this? So we
It's
typically
part
you
of that
would
being good thing, dude.
typically you would report that kind of thing to authorities so that they could at least be watched then, because bad things tend to come with that. It's not like
Yeah, as soon as they start, sacrificing people or anything like that, then it becomes a problem, and the city watch will get involved. Or
right. Heaven forbid we prevent that somehow. All right.
But
Well,
I'm not, with certain information coming to light about my family recently, I don't know how public I want to make all of this.
on that subject, I'm going to also point out, while it may not be illegal, it's a big deal, and it can be a big problem for families,
Especially
that may be
nobles.
involved, especially
So what
nobles.
we can do is perhaps show the proof of their worship to another family that they might have issues with. Someone who might want to
You mean
that they would jump.
instigate?
Someone who would jump on the opportunity to, give them a proverbial bloody nose to tarnish their reputation.
we're talking about my family here.
I didn't say that directly. I
No,
mean, it
you
doesn't
didn't.
have to be your family. It doesn't have to be your family. It could be another family that you're allied against them with.
I point at Bart. What were you just saying about your family?
I don't know how deep Asmodeus's worship goes in my family. As I told you, it was just information I heard. I don't know. I don't know, Todrin.
And
I
this is
don't know what
news
to do, and I'm getting visibly agitated.
This is news to Serval, right?
Oh
This would
yeah,
be
he's
news.
Serval is definitely, kind of standing back with, kind of slightly arms crossed, one hand stroking the
Oh,
beard
you
type
weren't
thing.
there? You were there when we were, when the dwarf came to the tavern and told everybody that. Oh shit, you weren't there on Troll
No, I
Tide, were you?
wasn't.
And he didn't
Serval
specifically
wasn't in the game yet.
He didn't specifically mention Asmodeus either. It was just that you were sacrificing innocents. You
Ah.
told me one-on-one later that it was Asmodeus.
Asmodeus, gotcha.
So you're getting upset. I'll just put my hand out, rest it on your shoulder. All right. We'll take this one step at a time here. What could be the possible blowback on you if we get the wheels turning against Growlhund?
That's only if his family is attached to this. If he's the one who puts out this information, then it can come back on his family. But if we do it separate from him, separate from your family there, Todd, is that then it wouldn't be either of your families. Therefore, it would not be directly attached to you. I mean, we could possibly take this to a couple investigators. I'm sure they have allies that could use that.
My father
Or
would kill me if I'd sat on this information, but I can see where that might be in our best interest overall. Last thing
I don't think he means sitting on it. I think he means giving it to someone else to
even
reveal.
worse in my father's eyes.
Todrin, I could make some room in my room if you wanted to set up an altar or some sort of thing.
I just glare at you. I'm not even. I'm just like my head slowly turns to you, and I just got this sinister look, and my eye is twitching.
Serval
isn't
moves
funny,
in front.
Oscar.
Serval
Why?
visibly moves between the two of them. Redirects
stand
Oscar and says,
apologies
"Hey,
over.
have you gotten any new information from your rat buddies?" Just kind of
No,
pulls him off.
They're busy, and I start to explain to Serval about my coat.
Nice.
Your coat?
And I start Serval definitely sits there and very, very interested, and
Awesome.
you probably notice that Serval seems a little bit calmer as time has progressed away from the troll tide. So, he's definitely a little bit more at ease and a little bit more relaxed around Oscar and just trying to engage him away from so that Todrin can focus on Bart and get him, well, however you want to progress.
Right. Alright. So, like I said, one step at a time here. Do you agree with him? Do you think we should give this to somebody that could use it strategically? Or should we just
Well-
report them and get them watched? I mean,
It's probably best to just let Barnabas know.
yeah, I agree. I don't
I
feel
just
like
kind of leaned back
entangling.
at that. I just kind of melted into my chair.
But we do definitely
But-
need to talk more about what we're going to do about your problem as well.
I don't even know where to begin. I don't know if that's something I can approach my father with.
Do you have any idea whether he's involved?
I have no idea. But my father is shrewd, Todd.
Right. Yeah. He's one scary piece of work. Is there any way we can find out for sure? That might be a good place to start.
How would you go about that?
Oh man. I don't know.
Because my father would not keep anything at the house. The estate? Manor? Whatever.
Blah.
La Villa! Is there anybody you trust in the family that might know anything?
Not enough to explain that information.
Oh shit, we don't have a lot of traction.
There's
then.
not at all. Which is why I haven't talked to you about it very much, because I have pretty much no information myself. Other than it's happening.
Right. Well,
And
I'm
that
glad
just
we got
keeps
you
to
out of that
be-
house at least then.
Agreed.
Okay, well,
Well,
Bart, I'm going to send you a message real quick.
okay. Aside from that,
right.
we have the nimble right to be concerned about. It left the estate of the Gralhuns while we were there.
Gentlemen, I did make an observation. Did you notice that the groundskeeper did not need to breathe?
He was odd.
He did not take a single breath besides to talk. He would inhale to talk, but beyond that, he did not breathe at all.
Well, thrall is what that sounds like. That's... I mean, I'm not surprised knowing what we know now. Wow.
So,
And then that guardswoman was most certainly, what's the word? Not crooked.
Being bribed.
in their pocket, as it were, I believe it makes me curious as to who she praised.
Oh man. No
It
kidding.
could be the reason why she
Corrupt.
is
Corrupt is the
protecting
word.
them. Well,
There you
she's
go.
certainly corrupt, but to what degree? Is she just simply greedy, or is she a full-on acolyte like the Growlhuns?
Well, I think both of these things are too big an issue for us to tackle on our own, so let's report the worshipping and the corruption to Barnabas, and then see what we can find out about this nimble rat, because that's why we were there to begin with.
Indeed. player note: did you take the robes, or did you leave them in?
I left them behind. I was gonna take them, but I didn't want to have possession of something like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Just a note. So far as you're aware, Bart, you left no evidence that you were up there, except that the kids saw you. You put everything back where it belonged. Nothing was out of place. You even put the key back where you found it.
Right. Right, and I'll explain that. But, on the other hand, there's really no evidence that I was there.
And that's fine. That's prudent.
Because at the end of the day, what I did was highly illegal.
And we don't know how far the corruption goes or to what degree. And I just had a very horrible idea.
Okay.
What's
They,
that?
you remember how we were talking about uh, our friend Maloon and how he's acting more and more aggressive and
Obsessed.
he's acting, yes. But do you know if he has had any interactions with the Growlhounds?
Not that we're aware.
Because I'm beginning to I'm still think that he might be possessed, considering how much different he's acting from what people knew him to be. Perhaps they facilitated him being possessed by a devil.
I don't see why, but it's an option to consider.
Just like I said, it might be nothing, but with the degree that everybody's saying he's acting differently, it might be something to see if we can get someone to cast a protection spell on him and see what happens.
Okay, so the Nimble Rat. Any
Yes,
ideas
the Nimble
on
Rat.
what to do there? Should we do another sweep of the city?
That's the only thing I can think of at this point.
Is that an option again?
Well, maybe we
I
might
don't see why
have
not.
to. We might have to do something to earn a second ride, but I'm willing to help the city at this point.
Right.
And who knows? Maybe the Lord's Alliance could help us. I know they've got agents around the city. We could go over to the Yawning Portal, and I could talk to people.
Well, sounds like we have a few options at least. We should start with Barnabas. We know that's what we're doing for sure.
Right. Yeah, good point. Let's start there. What time is it? What time of day is it?
You're late afternoon at this point. Like it's not quite evening yet, but it's getting there.
All right. Well,
Just for the record, the Griffin flight was this morning, so
Right.
this is all still the same day.
right. Do you think you can find them tonight?
Well, gentlemen, real quick, before we go much further with the planning, I have a proposal. There's 3 of you currently. I very quickly feeling a bit of camaraderie with the 3 of you,
Todd just nods.
and so I would like to offer to buy into a portion of the tavern and maybe solidify our interaction, gentlemen. And then at this point, Serval pulls out 2 of the gold bars.
Oh,
What?
I can't argue with this idea. I agree.
Uh, I suppose is now really the time.
Well,
I'm not
the
opposed to
thought.
this. I really am not. It's just
We have a quiet
sorry.
moment here. We might as well get it done with.
Well, the
That's fair.
thinking that I have right now is that these gold bars are quite heavy, and so it's offloading them off of real quick. But these could be useful.
I'll walk over to you.
Gold has a way of opening doors and speaking to people, and I don't know how
I think I get your
how can
point,
this be
sir.
used?
It's let's say that you make this as a deposit to the party, and moving forward, you have equal share.
That's
I
kind of
see.
what I was thinking.
So who's
Alright,
taking
well
the
then.
gold bars then?
I walk up to him and
Do we have an idea of what those are worth?
They're
Bars?
5-pound gold bars worth about 250 gold pieces just by weight.
All right. Well, whatever that, whatever value would be my portion, shall be split evenly amongst the two of you. And I just point at Oscar and Todrin.
oh, all right.
So I
'Cause you
moved
got
those
your
into your
sword?
inventory.
Yes.
Todrin.
What's
Are you
that?
gonna
Oh, okay.
chop that up with your sword then?
What's that?
Todrin, are you gonna slice it with your sword and split it, or?
No, I think I'll just hang on to these for now, and you can let me know if you need some money. I'll be happy to lend it out to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, can we just say I money change it out for actual gold and hang on to it?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, okay. Shit. So two gold bars
trade
worth
bars.
250 each.
Yep.
You know what those would be great for?
Huh.
Paperweights.
God damn it.
Bartering with the craftsman guy for payment towards our debt
Why?
for rebuilding the tavern.
Everything's
what?
fine there. Why would we throw away?
It's not throwing away. We owe them like 100,000 gold.
Right, but it's being taken care of. There's no need to change that, and we need gold immediately now for things.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. It was just an
Just
idea.
You're right. You're
Just
right.
for the record on that, you guys owe them 800 gold pieces,
Oh,
but
okay.
you're paid up through the next month. So you guys are actually ahead of your payments right now
Nice.
because Oscar paid for 2 months.
Nice.
It's been a few sessions ago, but he paid in advance for the next month, the current month and next.
Yeah. So I'll have to figure out how to exchange these, and we'll work it moving forward. But as for you, Master Serval, you can consider yourself a official member of the Uncommon.
Depending on what
Indeed,
those worth,
sir.
you may be able to barter with a blacksmith to get a set of mail.
Welcome.
That's certainly what I was thinking may need to be the next step.
That sounds feasible to me, right, Kason? Because I'm a trader.
Oh yeah, they'll take gold bars, sure. And Todrin, when I said you can't trade them in, you can trade them in. It's just I'm not going to do it here automatically for you. You're gonna have to go
Gotcha.
somewhere to do that.
Okay. All right. Well, so moving forward immediately, I see two things on the agenda. One is I have an idea for plate, and this is perfect timing. I think I want to get that ball rolling, and we also need to figure out our next step on the Nimble Rat. So I think before nightfall, we should go find Barnabas real quick.
Barnabas.
But how about I go talk to Barnabas, you go find a blacksmith, or whatever it is you're talking about for your mail, and then we'll meet up and go talk to the Griffin Cavalry.
That sounds excellent.
I can make a stop by the yawning portal and then I will meet you, gentlemen.
Okay,
Well, sounds like we've
one
got
more
business.
time. Where is everybody going?
Well, we
I
haven't
want to make
figured
sure I've
that
got
out
it
yet.
straight. Okay.
We haven't figured that out yet, but right
Okay.
now it sounds like we are going to 3 separate places.
Okay.
Something that Hind wants to do for plate mail. Set up.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go talk to Barnabas, and Serval is gonna go to the yawning portal.
And what were you planning on looking into at the portal there, sir?
I was going to make contact with a few people and possibly offer some gold in exchange of services. Yeah, I want to. I still have to find out more about Xanathar because Herman needs some vengeance,
Right,
and so
right. Well,
I want to get some information.
I just want to throw this out there. You're one of us now, so your problems are our problems. There's no need to pursue this individually. I understand that's what we seem to be doing now, but you're one of the
It's
team
only
now.
because time is short.
Right, exactly. So don't feel the need to
I
pursue this individually.
I understand. I greatly appreciate it, gentlemen. I wouldn't have proposed the joint venture if I didn't believe in you. But and it wasn't a slight on you, just me
No,
suggesting
no.
I'd go to the yawning portal. It's
Of
just
course, of course. I'll reach
we're
out to
all
shake your hand.
and I would grasp it firmly
Yeah,
and
welcome, welcome.
Serval
And I'll hold out my
Serval
hand afterwards.
and take yours in turn.
I'll turn to
Serval
Oscar
would
and
be
hold my hand
saying
out.
Oh my gosh.
Take your hand.
Welcome aboard, Oscar.
Thank you.
Happy to
yes.
be here.
Hadron, why was he so angry when I decided to say, offered to make an the thing? Who is this Modius guy?
Oh, you know what? How about you accompany me on my trip, and we can talk about it.
Okay, I didn't like making him angry, and I don't know, it just
Yeah,
seemed curious, and I didn't realize it. I'm sorry.
he wasn't angry with you, but he understands. I'm sure.
Okay, good.
Are you talking in front of me?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. I'm sorry, Oscar. I wasn't mad at you.
Oh yeah, no, you seemed so involved in it, and I thought something we wanted to do, but I guess not.
It's okay. I understand. The fault
Okay.
is mine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so
Oscar, you are certainly appreciated.
the three
Thank you.
trips are Bart to find Barnabas, Serval to the Yawning Portal, and me to Yamik and Erstein.
Imbrick and Avi.
Yep, those two.
Okay. So as you guys are walking down the stairs into the tap room to go your separate ways, Grinda Garloth is downstairs in the tap room, and she waves you guys over.
Brenda Gargolots.
Yeah.
Brenda Garloth. She's the chick that has the deep sea submersible.
Oh, cool. Brenda
Oh,
Gargolots.
the maids.
So she was the one that you guys went to and told to pass the message along to Zelifard. And when you
That's
approach
right.
the table, she sets a chest that is rusted and covered in barnacles, and she says, "You guys passed through here in quite a hurry. Your friend Zelifarn told me to give this to you."
Oh! Oh.
Xenophon gave something to
Wow.
us.
He said it was
And I
thank you for
approached
the
it.
information.
Ah.
I approached it and I open it slowly.
I put my hand on
So-
it. Maybe,
It has a very rusty lock on it.
Oh, okay, I was
Oh.
gonna say, don't open it in the fucking tap room. Fuck's wrong with
And
you?
she says, Zelifarn's not sure what's in it, but he said he can smell gold and silver inside.
Oh.
Oh. We both go, oh.
Yeah.
Pleased O's.
Oh.
Oh.
I I excuse me, gentlemen. I'll be right back. And Serval goes to wherever he's keeping his belongings and comes out with a crowbar and says, "Shall we go back upstairs?"
Oh, I have tools that would be useful for this.
Excellent. Let's
Wait, I think, don't I?
thank you
By the
for
way,
the delivery, Grinda.
she'll tell you.
I do. Thieves' tools.
No problem at all, and you have a magnificent establishment. I love it.
Thanks for
Of
showing
course,
up.
of course.
Enjoy yourself.
In fact, if you decide that you'd like to enjoy yourself longer, I look over as Floon at the bar.
Sorry, you look over to where?
Is Floon at the bar?
Oh yeah, he's sitting serving drinks to Imbric and Avi.
Right on. I will take care of you for the night. And I walk over to Floon and I tell him Grenda eats and drinks for free tonight.
He just nods his head and he says, "Sure thing."
And we take the chest upstairs. Thanks again,
All right.
Grenda!
Serval,
It's like Christmas
Serval.
Day.
I'm just going to remind you, you also have a chest that you took out of that coach that's still in your possession as well. That's also locked.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that quite yet.
Okay.
But you know, I was building up to it. Thank you.
I know you don't have your inventory in front of you. I just didn't want you to forget. So,
I
you
appreciate
guys take it upstairs. You've got a couple of tables up there that you could use.
Oscar is slowly placing all his thieves' tools out, organizing them by size.
All right.
You know how to use those, Oscar?
I do. I've learned many a thing on the streets, mostly involving getting into and staying there in places.
Really? Well, try your luck on this here. Let's see what you got.
Alrighty. Do
Interesting
we get
stuff.
advantage that can use both of my new dice?
What? That's not how this works.
That's not quite how this works.
I'd be
you
buying
wanted
dice
to-
every day.
If you wanted to, you do have inspiration you could use.
No need. Well,
That will work.
22. Nice.
It's a rusty lock, and so it takes a little bit of time. But with a 22, absolutely, you're able to pop it open pretty easily.
do I spill water everywhere?
There is some salt water in it that pours onto the floor. Inside, you find a small amulet that's in the shape of an octopus, and it
Ooh,
has
put it on.
little amethysts for eyes. You want me to put it? You're gonna put it on?
Yes, without even thinking.
All right. I have put the gold amulet in your inventory then. And inside you also find 122 gold pieces, 309 silver pieces, and 412 copper pieces.
Nice.
All right. Well,
That in the party?
That is, however you guys want to split that up.
yeah, I believe this is our
Probably
first
evenly.
score as a party. We got to figure out what that pretty little bit does there, so we can give it to the best member.
Do I feel like an
I'll
octopus?
I'll figure it out, and I'll take it and
Oscar?
I'll cast Identify on it.
It is not magical.
Oh,
oh,
You do, however, think that it's probably worth somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 gold pieces.
holy shit!
okay.
I make
Oscar-
it grow using druidcraft. Oh, magical.
Oscar, your passive perception, you also, when you pop the lid open on the chest, you notice that there's a crack in the lid, and it appears that there's like a secret compartment that's not quite hidden in the top.
I feel dirty doing that, but okay. Acting as much as I can like an octopus, I try to open it with at least half my fingers.
Awesome! I never even considered a secret compartment.
So you find a small, stoppered wooden scroll tube.
Yeah, that's worthless. I just throw it behind me.
I try to catch it.
Ah!
Is there anything else octopus related in there?
No, it's just an empty chest now, and at this point, the chest itself is fairly worthless. You might be able to get a gold piece out of it, but it's pretty much trashed. I mean, it's rusty. It's been underwater for God knows how long.
Serval uses prestidigitation to clean it all up.
I don't know if that'll work on rust, will it? And you can get it to looking pretty good, but
And then he
rust
casts
is a
Mend
little...
just to
Jesus.
straighten everything.
Yeah.
So it's a shiny rusty chest.
So, Todrin, you fumble for the scroll scroll tube. When he tosses it, it hits the floor, it bounces a couple of times and rolls to a stop against the wall.
Oh man. All right, I'll pick it up and toss it to
All right.
Bart.
Okay.
I will try to open it carefully.
All right. So, inside you find the scroll itself has been well protected despite being underwater for as long as it has. The scroll tube managed to keep water from getting inside. And you find the spell scroll bears the words of a single spell, Revivify.
Oh shit.
I can't learn that though.
No.
We can sell it.
Yeah, we can.
Of the group of you,
Can I use
Todrin
it?
can use that scroll spell.
Oh
Yes,
shit, I
he
forgot I
can.
can do magic.
You could also sell it if you wanted to.
Well, how about I hang on to it and either I use it or I sell it. If I sell it, I'll divvy it up.
Hang on to it, and because I've been planning on trying to learn rituals, and that would be nifty ritual to have around.
Not a cleric. Oh yeah, you can learn it from the scroll.
Oh, bards can learn that?
No, I can't.
No, bard.
No,
It
this
has
is-
to be a. Oh, bards. Yeah,
Uh,
bard could probably learn that.
Learn anything with the power of Mismodius.
he's not wrong.
Any bit of power is just a sacrifice or two away.
I know bards can learn it through one of his abilities. I don't think they have the spell.
Yeah, they use
Natural.
magic item, whatever.
It's not on the bard spell list.
Ah,
You
okay.
can learn it
Me
through
either.
other methods, and I think that may be the lore bard.
All right, well,
All bards get it at 10th level.
Right.
I'll just hang on to it for now, and
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
So I have
See-
placed that
see
in
what
your
we-
inventory, and I have divvied up the gold. Let's see. When you guys come down the second time, Floon calls you guys over. I know you guys are trying to get out of here, but Floon is standing behind the bar, and he where did it go? Calls you over and he says, "A gentleman came by while you guys were upstairs. He said to give you this bottle of wine, and it came with a letter too."
All right.
I'll take it.
So, let's see here.
I don't know if I have the power
Oh.
to take that necklace from Oscar.
Bart, the letter has this symbol in the wax seal on it.
What the hell? I don't like it.
Could I have a history check to see if Serval recognizes it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll him a history check.
So, as I'm reading this letter, my face just gets stonier and stonier. And then at the end, I just I look at you, Todd, and I hand you the letter.
Oh man, another one of those.
Ah!
Huh!
And I'll share it with the party too. So there you guys go.
You managed to figure it out. Here you go. It says, I saw your work at Gralhund Villa. Too bad you
Son of
missed
a
the
bitch.
Nimblewright. Don't worry,
Oh
though.
right, you don't.
I'm sure it will turn up soon. In the meantime, if you still want to find me, then follow these simple instructions. I'd like you to steal a silk handkerchief from a Watterdavian noble in the Sea Ward after dark. At midnight, you will give it to a tiefling girl who lives in a crate in the dock ward along Cod Lane. Her name is Narna, and the poor dear has a cold. I'll be watching. And do please enjoy the wine. It is from my personal reserve and is exquisite. JB.
Yeah, my face is turning red as I read it too, for sure. This son
As
of
you
a
finish and
bitch.
you look a pretentious dick, isn't he?
Yep, quite.
Well, let's go talk to Barnabas. And then I'll go talk to Barnabas. You go look into your mail.
Plate. But yes.
All right.
Yes, that.
So I'm going to deal with Sodran first because he's significantly closer
that's
than
fine.
would be to Barnabas. So,
All good.
again, it's not quite dark yet. You're like right at the cusp of it getting dark. Imbric and Avi were in your tavern, but when they finish up, they'll take you over to their place. And so, what can we do for you?
Right.
This is Avi speaking.
They're both guys, right? I can't remember how
Right.
this works. Yep. Right, gentlemen. I had an idea for a project. I saw your work with the Weaver. The
Right,
Weave.
yeah.
And
Yes.
I thought that it was quite excellent work, and I had a idea of my own. I was hoping we could work on it. Mainly, what I'll need from you is a really fancy set of plate armor.
They kind of look at each other, and Imbric just kind of shrugs, and Avi says, "Well, that's my area of expertise. I can do that."
Right. I mean, it's got to be snazzy. It's got to catch an eye. It's got to look good. But then, also be strong.
Artistic. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
You can just see him. He's already, like, you can see the gears working in his head. It's like he's like, "Oh yeah, I have some
Perfect.
ideas."
Okay,
It's some pretty nice plates at the Troll Skull Manor if you wanted to see some of those.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all of that. See what?
Some plates back at Troll Skull Manor. It's a very nice one.
Oh, I see.
I just smile and continue.
Avi just kind of smiles and he says, "Not quite that kind of plate, my friend."
Right.
Okay.
Also, I just want to run this idea past you for the rest of it, just so you know what we're working with, and I'll tell them about the rest of what I want to do.
When you start talking about that, Imbric kind of just goes, "Ooh, that's okay.
Yeah, pretty cool, right?
That sounds difficult, but we can talk to some people about that. Rishal might know some things about that."
Okay. All right. Do you want to just find who you need to find to work on it, and let me know how it goes?
Yeah, I think that'd be the best way to go about it. This is Imbric at this point. He's got this almost raspy, like crackling fire sound to his voice that I don't even begin to know how to do.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your time. What
And
do you need from me to get this started?
For right now, just time and patience.
Okay.
He says, "But I like the idea though, and I'd be happy to work on it."
Cool.
And they both of them reach out to shake your hands, and Imbric's he's a fire genasi. He's fire dancing on top of his head, and when he shakes your hand, it's almost uncomfortably warm. And then when when Avi goes to shake your hand, it's just this almost cold and clammy. It would be uncomfortable if you didn't know that it was just water.
Right. All right, gentlemen. Well, have fun. We'll talk again soon, I think.
As you're leaving, Avi kind of leans over at you and he says, I don't know what you guys did today, but you look like you've been through hell.
Oh, yeah, I think I died.
What?
To be honest, yeah. Another day's work, though, as I'm walking away.
And you can see they both just exchange glances like, did you hear that?
Yeah, since mine was short, oh wait, but Oscar. So yeah,
Oscar.
yeah,
Yes.
we decided to meet up back at the Eyrie, right, everybody?
Yeah.
After our trips?
That sounds right.
Yeah, okay, so as we're headed that direction with Oscar, I'll just tell him, yeah, so, do you know what Asmodeus is?
I have a horrible history, so no. No, I don't.
Right, you know what the devils are in hell, right?
Oh, I mean, I've never been there, but I've heard the stories.
Right,
Yeah.
that they're really, really awful creatures that do really bad things. You remember that jewelry store we broke into and we saved that man from getting killed down in the basement?
Yeah, where we killed the couple. Right, yes.
Yeah, they were going to kill that poor man in a sacrifice to this Asmodeus. It's not a good
Why would he
thing.
need that?
What's that?
Why would he need that?
I don't know. I don't worship him, but it can only be bad.
I see.
Basically, if you hear that name, assume that the people involved, they need to be watched at the very least. At worst case, they're going to be doing what the couple were doing, and they need to be stopped. It's not a good thing. So when we found out about Bert's family, it's a tender issue for him because he doesn't know who he can trust. Some of them could be hiding very evil intentions that he didn't know about until now. If they were to find out he knew, it could be very bad for him.
So I've been in the town alone for a very long time, and I'd heard people talking about the bad things before, but all I really have known about worship is from your temple, and it's fantastic. Dancing girls and the songs and the music, and everyone's so friendly. And I guess I just thought that that's what every deity would want to have happen. I can't imagine wanting to kill someone like that, though. That's
Right.
that's horrible.
It is very bad. But yes, Suni is good. Asmodeus, not so much. And there is certainly other ones too that are also bad. So worship in general is not a guaranteed good thing.
Okay.
Right.
I will pay more attention then.
Well, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. It was nice of you to offer, but yeah, that's a very tender issue for sure.
I see. Okay. And as you guys walk along, you see him whispering to a rat that's appeared out of nowhere.
Cool. That's us.
Did you want to say anything to the rat, or was it just flavor?
That'll be later.
Okay. So, Serval, where were you going? Yawning Portal?
Yeah, I was going to the yawning portal.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do you real quick. Bart, I think you would know that Barnabas is probably going to be at the Grolhund Villa for a while, so that's
Yeah.
where you're going to find him. So first, let's go ahead and do Yawning Portal. So, Serval.
How far is the yawning portal from
From
the
Trollskull
Troll
Manor? It's about halfway across the town. It's probably half an hour, 45 minutes.
would it be much of a detour to go to the House of the Moon, the temple?
Let's see. Let me pull up the map here.
If it's out of the way, then never mind. But if it would be reasonably along the way, then Serval would want to take along the way. He's mulling things over, and he decides to take a quick detour.
Okay. The Temple of Selune is called the House of the Moon, and it is almost in the other direction. It is in the Sea Ward to the west. The Yawning Portal is south. So it'd be a pretty big detour.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So on the way to the Yawning Portal, there's a lot of introspection going on and mulling over different things and more questions being than answers being drummed up at the moment. So yeah, let's go to the Yawning Portal.
All right. So let's see here. Who are you looking for at the Yawning Portal?
Was it Silver Mane or Silver Hand? I forget which is which.
Gillespie Silvermane is there. The first thing you notice when you are coming into the Yawning Portal through the front door, there is quite a ruckus at the front door. Like there's a crowd in front of the door, and there's a lot of shouting, and there's a mess.
All right. So just all the chaos going on. Is there a way through the chaos, or is it pretty much?
You could muscle your way through, but as you do, and I'm not even going to make you roll a perception check for it because this is pretty obvious because they are making a scene. The City Watch are dragging Davil Starsong and 4 Zentarum agents out.
Oh, shit.
And they are shouting, "We didn't have anything to do with it. This wasn't us. You've got the wrong guys."
I'm glad I don't know them very well, and they don't know me pretty much at all.
Just stroll by whistling.
Yeah, the equivalent of that, yes.
Shit.
All right. So when you come inside, it's like all eyes were on that situation. Durnan is standing behind the bar, serving drinks to the people there. Bonnie is coming through with drinks and food to serve around the place, and you do see Gillester Silvermane sitting at the bar.
Well, I'd
Right
go
next to
to
him.
speak with him.
Right next to him is Maloon. And the whole time that these guys are being dragged out, Maloon is just smiling ear to ear.
Hey there, Maloon. I know we haven't gotten to know each other very well, but you seem to be enjoying the spectacle.
He says, "I certainly am." And he's just got this big grin on his face as they are still dragging Davil and his guys out of the tavern. He says, "And how are you doing? I heard you guys are busy today."
Oh, indeed. And unfortunately, work calls, gentlemen. Give me a moment. Probably skip over to Drax's turn. I've got to address something.
Okay. So Drax, Bart, when you arrive at Gralhund Villa, there are City Watch crawling all over the place. They are loading up bodies onto the carts, and you actually overhear one of them saying, "This was worse than the Fireball. This was worse than Troll Skull Manor, or the Troll Skull Alley, the Troll Tide." There were more people that died. There were more people that died in Gralhund Manor than both of those events.
Damn. Massacre.
You actually hear them saying the bloodbath is the term that's being kicked around amongst the guards. It is not hard
The
to find
Growlhund
Barnabas.
bloodbath.
The guards will point you right towards him, especially because you guys were the ones that stopped this.
Is your mic in front of your face there, Drex?
Yeah, I'm here.
You sound distant all of a sudden.
Oh, is that better?
There you go.
Okay.
So yeah,
All
you're
right,
able to
so-
find Barnabas pretty easy.
All right, cool. Well, I will. Is he not by himself, but are the Growlhunds near him?
The Growlhunds are in the Great Hall of Growlhund Villa, and if you want, I can bring up the map.
But he's outside.
Yeah, he's standing outside.
All right,
He's
cool.
currently directing people, and like they're going over this place with a fine-tooth comb, but they're still not being allowed upstairs where the Alice Caledona is preventing the investigation from entering the Growlhund's bedroom.
All right, cool. Well, I'll approach him.
I'm back, gentlemen. I'm done. So thank you for the break. Sorry for.
No problem.
Do you want to go back to your thing, or do you want me to finish ours?
We'll continue this one for now.
All right. Well then, hello, Barnabas.
Hey. How are you? You guys left in quite a hurry.
Yes, we had some things to discuss.
And he
How
kind
are
of
things
motions.
going?
He motions to Saith Cromley, and essentially he's getting, some room for you two to talk in private.
Right on. Well, I'll get a little closer to him, and I'll whisper into him, and I'll. Apparently, the Growlhund family worships Asmodeus.
Hail Hydra.
And hey, I'm sorry, real quick. Just a point of flavor. When Barnabas told Bart to go up and investigate the room in private, what did Saith's take on it seem to be?
Saith just turned his head and looked away like he knew, but he was pretending he didn't.
So he doesn't seem like it bothers him. He seems like a partner in crime with Barnabas.
Yeah, they're good buddies. They're good friends.
Okay.
He used to be City Watch himself. He was like a retired sergeant, and it was unofficial and off the books. And that's his friend, and so he looked the other way.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Sorry, continue.
So when you say they worship Asmodeus, he just kind of nods his head and he says, "That's surprisingly unsurprising."
Well, it really isn't, but it is information. We know
It
for
is.
sure now.
He says, "Well,
That on the other hand, that Nimblewright we were looking for got away. As we infiltrated the manor, it fled. So
yes, we haven't
now
found
we're
any.
on the hunt again.
We haven't found it or any evidence of it here, but aside from the fact that Lady Growlhund said that yes, she had a Nimblewright servant, but it was gone." He says, "I appreciate the information, and I'll absolutely keep you updated." Says,
One other thing.
Certainly.
What do you know of any Waterdhavian nobles here in the city?
What do I know? What do you mean?
Do you... never mind. Don't worry about it.
You mean
Then
other
I'll-
nobles that are involved in this?
I hope not. And I'll walk away. I will just... Yep. That's my dick move thing that I always do. Except I don't have a book right now. I'm really distracted.
Okay, so back to
I've got so much
Serval.
going on. Alright, so... Oh, no, really quickly.
Oh, okay.
While I'm walking to the Airy, I want to go over this note a little more carefully while I'm alone.
Sure.
Are
Are you looking for Anything specific or
Not like the note itself, but the wording of everything.
okay?
Investigation check. Ha. Sorry.
In what way? Like for a secret message or
No, like what I know about, like, what is he talking about? I don't know what Water Davian is, man.
a person from Waterdeep,
Oh, is that
like a
what
New
that is?
York, like a New Yorker, or a
Oh,
Los
okay.
an Angelino
Or
from
So
Los
just
Meridian.
Angeles.
so he's literally saying any noble in the Sea Ward?
Yeah.
Okay. But that doesn't make a lot of sense. There's not a lot of nobles in the Sea
There are
Ward.
a lot of nobles in Sea Ward. The Sea Ward and the North Ward are the two northern wards that are full of nobles and noble
It's the
villas.
Dock Ward.
The
That's the
dock
shitty
wards,
slum.
right? And that's what he's
Okay.
telling you is he wants you to go to the Sea Ward after dark and steal a handkerchief and take it to the dock ward.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Okay. See, I was a little confused.
no problem. I'm happy to clear it up.
Alright. Cool. And then his whole thing about watching. I don't have detect magic right now, but I would know that he could potentially be scrying us right now, right?
You guys know next to nothing about JB Nevercaught, whether he's a wizard, whether he.
Well, right. He may not be a wizard, but we know there is a strong wizard involved in this somewhere. And I know a little bit about magic, so I'm aware of the scrying potential, right?
Yeah, you know that you could be scryed upon, sure.
Okay, cool. Right on. Well, that's just what I get when I hear I'll be watching. Because this guy's a cowardly dick, and there's no way that he is stalking us.
So, Serval,
Unless he is.
Serval,
Then we're gonna kill him.
when you arrive at the Yawning Portal, it's already dark. It's so when you sit down with Maloon and Gillester, they're having beers. Gillester kind of just turns to you and he just turns to shake your hand. And he says, "Heard you guys are busy today."
Indeed, indeed. So, did you hear about the Growl Hound bloodbath?
Yeah, it's all anyone here can talk about right now. It's the reason that Davil and his people just got drummed out. City Watch want to have a little chat.
Well, do have a bit of information, but you know, that game that everybody in here pretends they don't play, it makes it difficult to talk right now.
He nods his head and he says, "Do we need to talk outside?"
Oh, I certainly have a few things that you might want to hear.
He just nods his head and he puts a couple of silver pieces on the bar for Durnan, and Durnan just kind of nods his head, takes them, and puts them in his pocket. And he says, "All right, follow me." And rather than going out the front door where there's still quite a bit of ruckus, he leads you out the back. And he says, "Just walk with me, talk with me."
Well, sir, you know about the loss of Herman, and I intend to make Xanathar and his minions pay for that.
You just hear him give a little bit of a chuckle, and he says, "Do you have any idea what that would entail?"
It would entail a great deal of help, especially from a well organized and far-reaching group such as the Lord Alliance.
There's this long pause as you guys walk, and he says, "What is it you have?"
Sorry, I didn't hear you very well. What was that?
What is it that you have? What is it that you want to bring to my attention?
So, it would seem that there's a power play involved for a sum of money. A sum of money that was apparently put together by Neverember.
Everember's lost gold. Yeah, I'm aware.
Indeed. And it seems that more and more quickly the situation's coming together where it might actually be located. You see, the stone that gives the keys to Neverember's treasure has been found. The stone of, what was it, Golanthar? What is it again?
Golar.
Golar.
Gollorr.
It has been found,
He kind of he just
and
stops and he turns to you and he says, "Do you have it?"
I was within 500 feet of it, and it got away.
Do you have it?
Do you got the stuff?
Would I? Would I bring it here? Come on.
I proceed to tell him about the nimble rights and how the Growlhuns seem to have been involved with the Zeratum, the Team Z.
The Black Network, the Zentarum. Yeah.
Yes, the Black Dark. Yes. So I proceed to tell him all of that and how the group that I'm involved with now over in Trollskull Manor has come quite close to retrieving it. And that I have a very strong suspicion that we may be able to procure it at some point in the near future.
He just kind of. It's not really a scoff, but close to it. Just a little bit of disbelief in his laugh. He
And
says,
that's fair.
he
That's
says,
fair.
"Look, I don't know what you think you know, but the truth is, I probably know more about this situation than you do."
That is likely. But I didn't see you at the Growlhun's Villa. And you
That's
didn't
fair.
almost have the nimble rights that had the. At this point, I'm just going to try to go for the persuasion check of look, we've been there. We have been within an arm's reach of this thing, and we are getting supremely closer to actually retrieving it. And not to count us out, that he can plan on other people getting on it. That's fine, but we are damn close.
Okay, what exactly is it that you're wanting from him? What are you trying to persuade him into?
Well, one, that if we get our hands on it, we will need some assistance with, because that much money will cause a severe problem for anybody that doesn't have friends in the right places. And
Right.
then, as well as the possibility of, aside from that, trying to get as much information on Xanathar and his goons as possible.
Okay, he'll turn to you and he'll say, "Look, if you and your guys can manage to find this Neverember's lost gold, and you report it to the Lord's Alliance, we will make sure that it finds its way back into the coffers of the city of Waterdeep, and we will offer you a finder's fee."
That seems reasonable.
As far as Xanathar Guild, Xanathar has existed in this city for as long as anyone can remember, and I don't believe that's going to end anytime soon.
Fair enough, but I would like to make life difficult on him, and I'm willing to
He
pay
says, "Look,
to get that started.
no offense, friend, but you are talking about kicking a hornet's nest that has already killed dozens of people in this city. It's already attacked the home of your friends.
Wouldn't that be an issue with the Lord's Alliance? Isn't that what the Lord's Alliance fights against? Is thugs and monsters that prey upon others?
And that's when he stops you and he looks you directly in the eyes and it's quietly but firmly he says, "Look, the Xanathar Guild is a blight on this city, but they keep out a lot of things that are a lot worse." You didn't hear that from me.
Serval takes a moment and he just looks at him and eventually he nods and he goes, I understand you.
Just, I'll certainly keep you apprised of if I can come up with anything on him. If I can find you any way in, the only way I know of is through Undermount, and that's a long trip. So,
Then that's one I should start preparing for.
all right.
All
Well,
right. At this point, Serval's kind of resigned, but he appreciates the vote of the offer for help from Silverhand or Silverbait rather,
all
and
right.
he's disappointed. He's visibly disappointed.
Yeah, and when he sees that, and just as you guys are about to, he says, "Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but you're talking about an organization that people in the city have been fighting for generations. This is this is probably not going to end anytime soon. The Zentarum have made it a
So,
lot worse by kicking them into, but
speaking of the Zentarum, do you know of any mages that wear a gauntlet? And I
mages that
described
were."
the dark mage that lightning bolted our ass.
He thinks for a minute and he says, "Not specifically, no. I can pass it along though."
Yeah. So if anyone goes after the Zentarum that you care about, or you have any affection for at all, warn them against this mage, and make sure that they are prepared to do battle with.
I'll keep that in mind.
And last but not least, there's been concern about our friend that that was enjoying the spectacle of all of the people that was in Harlem getting kicked out.
Maloon.
Have you known Maloon a long time?
He's a good friend, has been for years.
Does he seem different to you?
Yeah, he really does. I don't know what his problem is. Why, do you know something?
I have suspicions, but I couldn't.
What?
No proof. And
Suspicions of
he's
what?
friends to you. He's friends to my friends, and so I want to look out for him if I can.
His whole demeanor kind of changes when you mention Maloon, and he says, "I don't know what Maloon's issue is. This obsession with the Zentarum is new and sudden. It started about a couple of months ago. He never cared about them before. As far as I know, nothing happened to make him care about them. It's kind of baffling, to be honest.
Kind of like he might not be himself.
He kind of pauses and he looks to you and he says, okay, you know something.
I don't have proof of anything. I just have suspicions.
Look,
As everyone's telling me the same thing, that he just had this completely sudden shift in his demeanor. Like he's something
he's a
has
friend of
taken
mine.
over.
And if I found out that someone I knew something about him that was off, I'd really appreciate to know it. And I'm sure if your friend Herman, if I knew something about him that you'd want to know. Look, if you know something, please.
The only thing I can think of right now is try to get a protection from evil spell cast on him and see if that changes anything. That's the only thing I can think of right now, and I don't have the resources for that.
He kind of gives you this weird look. He says, protection from evil. Okay.
It seems so off. He seems so different. I mean, I just met him recently. I had maybe occasional interaction with him coming into the Yawning Portal, but I didn't really know him. And now everybody that I've been involved, they've been involved with him for so long, like you, and like my friends. And everybody's saying the same thing, that he has had a dramatic shift in his personality recently. Just no idea what to do at all, except for maybe try this. And if it doesn't work, then okay, no harm, no foul. But if it works, the potential repercussions, I don't know.
Do you happen to know anyone capable of such a spell?
I was considering going over to the House of the Moon and seeing if I could if I could find someone willing to help me with that. But that's in a completely different direction, and I'm not going to be in that part of the city anytime soon.
Alright. Look, if you find out anything else, I'm gonna sit on this for the time being, but if you find anything else, let me know.
I absolutely will. I absolutely will.
Protection from good and evil. Is that right?
Yes.
Alright. And you can tell... actually, roll me an insight check.
Does someone get that for me?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Oscar, would you? Kai? Okay, 17. That scares him. Like, he's aware enough to know what that means. And the idea that someone thinks that kind of a spell might be necessary really worries him.
And Serval's point was to, it seems so drastically different from what everybody's described him as, that maybe that might be something that we need to look into.
Yeah. And he shakes your hand and he says, look, thanks. And really, about Xanathar, I appreciate the enthusiasm, I do, but just be careful.
I intend to be, but I've got a question for you. Let's say something of my suspicions are correct, and it led back to Xanathar. Do you think that you would be a little bit more willing to help me against them?
We'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, but it might change things.
All right. Well, sir, if I can do anything for you, I am at your disposal.
I appreciate that.
I am at the disposal of the Lord's Alliance, and anything that they may need help with in the future.
All right. Thank you.
And with that, Serval would be parting ways headed to the Erie if it's not too late.
No, you guys, it's early at night still. Let's go to Todrin. Was there anything you wanted to do, Oscar? You guys are together, right?
Yeah, nothing on my end.
All right. Bart,
No, I don't think so.
you weren't going to wander through the seaward and steal some guy's handkerchief?
We have to meet up at the Airy first.
We
All
could
right.
steal Tondrins or something, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking was... damn it.
If that's
Produce some-
excuse me, if that's the way you guys want to do it, you're absolutely
We're gonna
you
have
can
a
do
talk.
that.
So, question: do I know this this girl in the crate? Because that's like, isn't that where I was from, kind of?
It's in the area. It's not terribly far. It's
That's
roll
kind
me a
of the
history
weird...
check.
That's the type of weird little thing Oscar would know, too.
Yeah, roll me a history check with advantage, Oscar, or just a straight intelligence check. Either way,
God.
whichever's better for you.
Can we just like try and perceive it?
Eh,
Hearing, intelligence. That's really the same. Advantage. Ooh,
Ooh.
it's uncouth.
how bad is it? 9. This girl in particular doesn't ring a bell. Cod Lane seems familiar, but you can't quite put your finger on why Cod Lane seems familiar. It's like right there, but because you rolled a 9 instead of a 10,
I'm hungry and I want cod. There you go.
that could be it.
Like the-
But it's seriously,
Oh,
it's like one of
God.
those things where it's like, I know this. Why can't it just, it's right there. So you guys all head to the peak top area then?
Yep.
I think so.
Okay.
So she'd already be off shift and probably home, right? Or does she have barracks there that she lives
Yeah,
in?
you guys are probably thinking she's probably at home by now. It's being dark and all.
Well, shit.
Do you guys want to do something else instead?
Well, when we meet back up, I'm like, well, I didn't really think this through.
Yeah, we didn't, did we?
Yeah.
Well,
Looks like we're headed to the Seaward
Why?
Doc.
to steal a noble's
Oh, that's right.
handkerchief.
You really want to do what that son
What?
of a bitch tells us? He just comes in out of nowhere and leaves us a note, and we're just supposed to do whatever he wants?
I suppose we could just go find the girl on Pot Lane. Cod Lane? Whatever.
well, we could go and offer a random noble for a gold piece for their handkerchief, and then say we stole.
That's fair.
We could tell them that we have to play a game where we have to collect different things throughout the city, and we really need their handkerchief, and if they say no, then we'll offer them a gold, and say that there's supposed to be a real fabulous secret prize, and just make it up and see if they'll go for it. See if we can find a young nobleman gullible and excitable enough.
This son of a bitch. This isn't a game. Why would we play his game?
Because sometimes if you play their games, they show you their hand. Sometimes they'll tip their hand and give us information.
Todd just shakes his head. You can tell he's angry, but he's like, if this is what you guys
I-
want to do.
I'm
Todd.
not really sure what to do, Todrin, but at the end of the day, he really does have us by the balls. We have no idea. who
That's
this
what I
man is.
hate. That's what I hate.
We don't know who he works for. We don't know what his intentions are. And we don't know what kind of visibility he has on us, because I'm sorry to inform you, Todrin, but magically speaking, visibility is limitless.
That's what I'm afraid of.
So we'll play this innocent game of his and see what happens and go from there. And if we don't like what happens, we can leave and we can fight if we have to. And if we get some information out of it, so much the better.
Todd just shrugs. This is just Todd being proud, by the way. I totally know that that's what we need to do.
Well then,
Did the music
to the
stop?
Sea Ward. I don't
Just
hear it.
now, I think so, yeah.
Okay. Give me just a minute. I'll start up something new. Oh, there it went. Okay.
Huh? What?
I was just messing with music. So, what are you guys gonna do?
What you do?
Gonna head our asses down to the, as we're gonna head towards the, Sea Ward, and as we're walking,
Right.
Todd's just stewing as we're walking, finally he's like, why don't we just go find this girl and I'll fucking heal her of her cold. Bam. Problem's done. World's a more beautiful place because this poor girl isn't sick anymore. And then we'll see what happens.
Let's see.
That's assuming that you can heal her. I'm sorry to say, Todrin, but
It may not be a
I
cold.
know from experience, some of them can't.
Oops, sorry guys.
To the best of your knowledge, just for if it were just a common cold, a lesser restoration spell would do it. I'm not even gonna make you roll for that because I feel like you would know that.
Right, yeah, which I don't have. I'm spent on spells already. I mean, I know
Oscar.
I could prepare it. Oh, shit, that's right.
Oscar knows it, and I think Serval maybe not. No.
Not sure if that's a low enough level for
I
Bard.
actually have it prepared even.
Really? So you could do it right now?
Yep.
Right, see, Oscar could fix her cold and we could all move on with our lives.
I don't even have level 2 healings, but I have that.
Well,
Okay.
is it along the way for us?
It is south of the yawning portal.
The opposite direction.
It's literally the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And we're already headed.
Yeah.
the other
well,
way
that's-
while we're having this conversation.
If you guys met at Peak Top Airy, it's either you go north to the Sea Ward or you go south to the Dock Ward. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, and again, as a player speaking, this is just Todd digging in his heels and balking. Like, let's go do the the thing for sure.
And Serval's trying to acknowledge that, yeah, it's a good idea. I wish we could, but we don't know. We don't know.
We just don't know. We don't know what we don't know, and so we can't say what we do and don't know. You know?
Who let the dwarf in here?
Yeah, that was just a dwarf you passed on the street. He seems a little drunk.
She's a little drunk.
Oh, he's a dwarf.
A dwarf that's a little drunk. I thought that was their natural state.
You
So
don't know what you know
sloshed
if you don't know it, you know?
Is he drunk or is he high?
The other one walking
What about
alongside him.
those?
Oh, I know.
Alright, guys, where are you going?
To the Sea Ward to steal someone's fucking napkin.
Okay. So
So
you
stupid.
guys travel up the Street of Silks north into the Sea Ward. You pass the marketplace on your way. Like I said, it's pretty late now. It's not midnight late, but it's
It's
probably
dark.
10 o'clock at night. Yeah, it's dark. There are nobles that are just wandering the streets at night that are going to wherever they're going. There are, if you wanted to go to uh, any like a place that they might congregate, there's some temples in the area, or anywhere you guys want to go.
Wherever handkerchiefs are.
I'll just
Well.
look at you two, Serval and Bart. Well, how are we gonna do this?
So, the most obnoxious way to do this is to have me and Oscar handle it.
Excuse me, did you just say the most obnoxious way?
And
Oh,
that
yes.
was
Oh,
your
yes.
first suggestion?
Yes, watch. Alright, Oscar, we're going to play a game. And the point of this game is to try to get as many of these handkerchiefs from these people as we can.
Oh no, I hate
But,
this game.
but,
I love this game.
But we don't want to hurt anyone. And, if we do take it from them, unbeknownst, we need to compensate them for it. So the best way to get it from them is to convince them to give it up willingly. So we're going to go through to all these young people, and we're trying to convince them to give us their handkerchiefs.
That sounds great.
All right, let's do it.
You'd be able to cover more ground, though, so I asked my rats to help out by going up to people and asking them for their handkerchiefs.
Indeed, that's exactly what I had in mind. Thank you.
So all the rats in your pockets, they all pop their head out and they listen to you. And what do you tell them?
Go ask everybody for their handkerchiefs.
And with that, you guys watch as several rather large rats. I'm going to say this. They seem to have gotten a little bigger. Like, you guys have had rats, and you guys have seen Oscar's rats, and over time, as he has been feeding them and taking care of them and petting them and all, they're big rats.
Oh god.
They're not like giant rats, but they're big rats, and they
They're
take
not
off and
RUS.
scatter in different directions.
They
Well,
don't look
this-
that big when they're on Oscar, but they hit the ground and they pass someone else, and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah,
Well, this can
exactly.
only go badly.
Maybe
I
they
just
can
turned
try.
to Taldrin. Did that just happen, Taldrin?
They're
Yeah.
well dressed rats, at least.
Yeah, so they're
But-
like making square symbols and encouraging people to hand them those.
I'm like looking around, wondering if there's a doorway I could like step into, so I'm not a part of this.
And Serval is just like sitting there busting a gut, just bursting at the seams, laughing at himself.
Yep. If you're outright laughing, Todd steps into the nearest doorway, straight up.
Nice.
Okay.
So you step into a doorway, and I just sigh, not shake my head, and just. Did that just happen, Taldrin? And I turn to you, and you're not even there.
I'm gone. You see me walk into the nearby door.
All right. I'm going to
Excellent.
need a perception check with advantage from both Serval and Oscar to find nobles. And I'm giving you advantage just because this is the Sea Ward and you can find them. So,
Oh, nice.
Good God, man!
okay. And for Serval,
Yeah, I clicked on a button. Come on. Perception.
Oh my God.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry.
Oh fuck.
Too busy laughing, apparently. Because he rolled 2.
Okay. So, Serval, it takes you a little while. Oscar, you practically just turn around and you practically bump right into a noble. So, let's start with you, Oscar. What do you want to say to him?
Hello, there's this girl, and she's in a box, and she's sniffly, and you don't appear to be sniffly.
He
so
says,
you don't-
here, have some coins. And
No,
he
I
puts, he reaches into his pouch and he just takes out a few copper pieces and just drops them into your hand.
Thank you. Are any of these a handkerchief?
A handkerchief?
Yeah, I'm gonna start like parting his clothing to see if he has any.
Hi. First off, roll the dex check.
Oh
Oh my
dear.
god.
Next check.
What'd you roll? You actually did better than his 5. So you're rifling through this poor man's pockets, and you come up with a handkerchief that's in his pocket. And he says, "What are you doing, sir? What the?"
I was like, well, here, it's compensation, and I give him his coins back.
He takes the coins back, and he's roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage, Oscar.
Oh.
Holy shit.
No way! No way, this isn't happening. I'm just standing in the middle of the street. I'm just standing in the middle of the street. My eyes bulging, my mouth ajar.
Oh, fuck. The coins are the best part.
You, Bartholomew, and Todrin and Serval, as you're heading the other direction, you can hear shouting, "Unhand me, you beast!"
Oh god.
Serval turns around and he runs right over. He
Fuck.
beelines it right
Waving the
over.
handkerchief at Serval. I got one!
You do indeed have.
Excellent.
You do
And
indeed have a
Oh,
handkerchief.
fuck me.
So-
God.
So, what is the float or the hero that Oscar is supposed to be portraying?
Pierre Guerin.
So I run over to him, the nobleman. I'm, sir, calm down. This is how is that said again? Pigyorn?
Pierre Guerin.
Pierre Guerin. This is Pierre Guerin. He's going to be Pierre Guerin in the float. He won the race, and he's just simply trying to help out a friend. And it's okay, sir. It's okay. So I'd like a persuasion check to calm him down, please.
Okay, the man that Oscar just robbed of his handkerchief. Sure, roll him a persuasion check. And he
27? Fuck you!
the man stops.
Everyone
And
around him stops too.
You've
so
got it.
sorry.
This is a huge scene. Like there's city watchmen that are approaching at this point, but he stops and he looks at Oscar and he says, "Oh, that's right. That you were the one at the race. I apologize. I did not recognize you." He says, "Well, very well. That's take it then." And the man looks bewildered, but he does recognize Oscar now that has been said.
If that guy looks bewildered, Bart looks fucking flabbergasted.
With a 27,
Bart
I mean,
is
wow.
stunned.
So
Bart is paralyzed.
talks this.
Time has stopped.
Serval talks this noble down, and at this point, the city watcher, like right behind him, and he turns to them and he says, "Oh, no need. It's quite fine. It's very good to meet you. What is your name again? Did you say?" Turning to you, Oscar.
Per Guerin.
He kind of looks over to Serval.
Yes.
He says, "I see.
His name is Oscar, and he is
Oscar."
Yes, but he has
That was
taken the
before I won.
role. So he's trying to get into character. So don't mind his oddities.
I see. Well, have a good evening. This man
You
turns
too.
to the city watch and he says, "It's fine. Don't worry. That was unusual, but it's fine." And they turn around and they walk off. Mr. 27 persuasion check was just as Oscar's about to get arrested for the 7th time.
And so I push Oscar going in the opposite direction, and I wait until I'm like around a corner out of earshot, and I just start giggling insanely like a madman.
So, as you guys turn around and walk away, it's at that point that you hear a woman scream in the distance.
And then, real quick, the camera cuts to Todrin 30 seconds ago. He's just standing in this building with his face to the wall, and you hear in the distance, "Unhand me, you beast!" And I just close my eyes and rest my forehead against the wall.
Nice.
So, Oscar, I would like you to roll me
He's just
sleight of hand checks for
slowly
your
banging his forehead
rats.
against the wall.
Yes.
I'm
Standing
sorry.
there.
Give me a
walks up,
sleight of
Excuse me, are you okay?
Just pounding my forehead into the wall.
a sleight of hand check for your rats.
Oh, fuck.
They are good.
It's about 5 minutes afterwards that his rats all come back, and each one of them has got handkerchiefs in their mouths,
They
Oh
matter.
my
Excellent.
god.
Excellent.
and you can hear screaming, and you hear a woman saying, "That rat!"
Then we cut to Todrin again. You hear the screams and just quiet sob. Oh god.
And Serval's just busted a gut, just giggling insanely at all of this.
Holy shit.
So all of your rats have returned to Oscar. You guys have multiple silk handkerchiefs. What would you like to do now?
Head
about-
to the dock ward?
Fucking Serval just persuades the Nimblewright to show up.
Okay.
But yeah,
So-
we'll head for the dock ward.
All right, you guys make your way to the dock ward. Again, it's quite a ways away. It's going to be about an hour. It's approaching midnight when you guys finally arrive in the dock ward. And Oscar, you realize as you're approaching it, oh, that's why Cod Lane seems familiar. And as you guys are entering Cod Lane, it is the
Oh, God.
same. It is the same part of town. You guys will recognize it in just a second if I can find the freaking map. Where is that map?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Anything happen?
I found it. So let me know if that even shows up.
Yes.
It did.
This is the
Yeah.
same alley you guys killed the drow on.
Yep.
And you guys walk along the alley and you find this crate that this little girl's living in. And she's coughing. She's a young tiefling girl, and she's just sitting in this crate as you guys walk towards her.
Todrin, did we want to try the magic?
What magic?
The restoration?
You
To heal the girl.
mentioned trying to heal her.
Oh, rat. Well, if the poor woman does indeed seem to be sick, then yes, we should, but I don't know if she's actually sick.
You just said she was like coughing, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was checking the stream. Did we already find her?
Yeah, we already found her. We're in
Yeah,
that
it
alley
wasn't
right
it
now.
wasn't hard. You guys found her in the alley.
Oh, okay.
And she's like noticeably sick, right?
Yeah, she's coughing. There's the occasional sneeze.
Ah, I'm sorry. Yes, yeah, Oscar. Let's give that a shot.
Toss a glance towards Bart. Does he seem approving?
What?
Does
The
Bart
magic?
seem approving?
Why would I disapprove?
Your mic again, sir.
Okay.
Oh. Why would I disapprove? Just looking at me and I'm just like, yes?
All right. Well, as the rats start to very carefully unfold their handkerchiefs and cover her in them, I will cast my lesser restoration spell.
Lesser erection.
When you,
That would be bad.
so you place your hands on her and cast the spell.
what? Sorry.
So you cast the spell, and she
No.
blinks a couple of times, and then she has this look on her face like, "Whoa, thank you. I feel much better." And she
You're
looks
welcome.
She looks up to you and she says, "These are the handkerchiefs? Just, I thought there was only gonna be one."
At a time.
Oh, okay. So she reaches behind her, and there's this torn up blanket that she's got, and she pulls out an envelope. It looks a lot like the first one you guys got, and hands it to you, Oscar.
Thank
The
you.
nice man said to give this to you.
Excellent. Is there any writing on the outside?
You see that on the outside?
Oh, what?
Would you
There's
mind-
a
Sorry.
wax seal.
Oh, the
With,
black seal.
Yeah.
Did anybody roll my
Same
history
deal.
check to see if I recognize that
Oh.
seal?
I don't know if we
That's
did
a
or
good
not.
point. Would any of us recognize
Nope.
that seal?
No. Not with a 19. You do not recognize it.
Damn.
Would you mind describing this nice man for me?
Well, and she essentially she describes JB Nevercott.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So she hands you this envelope with this letter in it, and you guys go open it.
Does it look edible?
It does not look edible.
Before we
Let me
open it,
check
did the
it.
man say anything else to you? Besides just
He
giving you
said-
the letter?
No, he just said to give this to whoever brought me the handkerchiefs. She
Oh,
says,
okay. I hand it to
Thank
the
you.
rats.
Thank you for making me feel better, though.
And what did he look like?
She describes JB Nevercott.
Yeah, we just did that.
Cool. Oh, sorry. I missed that. I was looking for dice because I was like, I might need to actually roll something.
So, who's gonna open it? Are you gonna open it, Oscar, or your rats? Or
Well, you said whoever brought the things, so that was the rats. So the rats have it now.
okay?
Whatever rats would do to paper, I don't
Would
know.
you mind giving that to Bart there, Oscar?
Oh, of course.
And I'm gonna hold out a
speaking
gold
of-
piece to the girl.
And all the rats start climbing up Bart's
So
rope.
she takes the gold
Ah!
piece.
And
She
I
takes the
kind of
gold piece, and
wiggled them off. Oh, sorry.
she says thank you, and
Thank you, my
kind
dear.
of settles back into her box. And Bart, the rats crawl up your robes and put this envelope in your hands. You open it.
Did the rats get off me?
After they hand it to you, yeah.
Well, that was a pleasant experience. And I'll inspect the envelope. Does it look rigged or anything?
Roll me an investigation check.
Ooh, a roll. Investigation.
So
18.
it's a little thicker than the first one, but you don't think that's because there's a trap or anything. You think that there's actually 2 letters inside.
Well, I'll, without breaking the seal, I'll pop the letter up.
Okay. So
I'll slide my finger under it.
the first one you find is reads this:
Oh, second letter. Did you share that with everyone?
Yes, it says, "Jolly good show. That was wonderful. A magnificent display. I want you to deliver the enclosed expose to Gaxley Rudderbust, the publisher of the local broadsheet called the Waterdeep Wazoo. He must not know who wrote it or where it came from. You'll find his office at the corner of Aymar Street and Stallion Street in the North Ward. Leave the expose on his desk. Complete this task, and we will meet. I have another gift for you. JB."
Is that other note sealed?
The other one, it is not sealed. It's just a letter that is handwritten, and if you would like to read it, you can.
I will.
Okay. An expose on devil worship among unnamed Waterdavian noble families. The story mentions orgies and secret deals happening behind closed doors. I don't have the whole thing written. This is just what they gave me. It says, it's scandalous and will assuredly keep the nobility of Waterdeep rattled and stirred up for weeks to come. If this letter gets printed in a newspaper, if this expose gets printed in a newspaper, it's gonna be big.
The repercussions are huge.
Oh,
And
okay.
Serval's just like looking, going. Did you ring this aloud or just?
I would have passed it around.
Okay, Serval look up and specifically look at you, Bart, and go, how uncomfortable does this make you?
Does it mention my family?
It does not mention any families, but not even the Growlhuns.
So, hey,
But
we
the
could write in
contents
the.
are. I was just gonna say the contents are scandalous, and it'll be big. It'll cause a stir.
Gentlemen, I have an idea. You see, we can rewrite this and put in this that the only known family that is absolutely 100% a part of this is the
The
Growlhuns.
Growlhuns.
We could completely rewrite this and then deliver the rewritten version of this.
I don't think that's Peppercot's plan.
Oh, that is not his plan, but that is our plan.
I think the only plan behind this, and I'm shaking the paper, is to cause some crazy making. And
Crazy making.
Yes, but
and I agree with you, Serval, that throwing a specific name in there, especially with proof in circulation, or at least in investigation, would definitely add to the making of the crazy.
you see, it would make the crazy and everyone would be suspicious of each other. However, you give them a scapegoat and they're less likely to cause chaos and infighting amongst the houses. That will give them a rallying cry against the Growlhuns, and it will keep the stability of the city in check. And I'm having this conversation as we're going back to Troll Skull Manor, unless we're
Yeah, that sounds
planning
good.
on.
Perhaps if we're gonna play this game of his, perhaps we leave the original expose as well as something anonymous of our own mentioning the Growlhuns.
Write an addendum to this,
Yeah,
saying
just
that
2 papers instead of 1.
say that after this was written, it became known about the bloodbath at the Growlhund Manor, and certain facts were revealed during that.
Sounds good to me. I like it.
Oh. Part of me still wants to rewrite it, but you know what? Your way might be the better way there, Todd. Then they can publish the expose as just the deal, or they can do it with the addendum. And that would be out of our hands at that point.
I guess
Oh,
the question
yeah.
I'm proposing here is how much do we really want to meet Nevercott again? Because honestly, right now, if we don't do exactly what he says, I don't see us working out anyway.
But
Although, I don't.
we didn't do exactly what he said, and he applauded us for it.
That's true.
Well,
You
technically.
see, he seems to be the one that likes to play games, and so if we manage to do the unexpected while playing his game, I imagine that he would be the kind of person that would appreciate it and enjoy it.
And his game is crazy making. I'm enjoying that
I
phrase.
don't know.
I giggle every time you say it.
I suppose if that's what you want to do.
I mean, this isn't a one-person deal. I'm not, the only person involved in the decision making. We all need to have our input and agree. I don't want to at all railroad anybody into doing this if they don't
Right.
really
So-
want to. But if you're willing to do it, just let me handle it.
Let's put it this way: do we gain anything, or do we help anybody by including the Growlhuns in this kind of announcement?
I think we help the city by making the scapegoat of the Growlhuns, because if we don't, and this goes out as it is,
At
then
least this way we
all
know
of-
the suspicion is going in the right direction.
Exactly, and you won't have a huge amount of infighting with all the different nobles that you would if this was released as it is.
I want-
See
like
what I'm
Bart-
getting at?
I want Bart and Todrin specifically to roll me an insight check because you're nobility.
Oh god. Hiya! There we go. 19.
Okay.
15.
Both of you know that to name the Growlhuns in this expose, it won't destroy them, but this could cripple them for at least a generation. Like this would, they would have a lot of trouble getting invited to parties, getting any kind of business deals done. This could
Right.
cripple them.
And it might, Bart, dissuade people from looking further into your family.
It
might give them a
that's gonna be the
reprieve.
case. When you throw in this first paper that talks about multiple families in Waterdeep, I don't ever see this not going in a way that I am not going to enjoy.
Well,
On the
that's
other
why I
hand-
suggested that we rewrite it, sir.
But see, that's my point. Nevercott's goal may be sowing chaos, but his plan here is specific. We can't just go changing everything.
That's why I asked if it would benefit us, because if we can find a worthwhile goal in it, then it's worth the risk.
All right.
So on the con
that
side,
will-
we have possible. Well, either way, we have possible blowback on you, my friend. That doesn't change whether or not we name Growlhuns.
that was the
But-
other hand I mentioned.
However, the blowback upon you and your family will be severely lessened if there's a scapegoat like the Growlhuns. And
Maybe.
unless someone brings forward proof of your family's involvement. But then you've already been removed from your family, so you may not personally receive any blowback from that.
I'm not removed from my.
Well, I may have misspoke. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here?
I
I may
think
not be saying it very well.
I think I do, but my name is much more involved in my family. I think if my name is even whispered in the nobility, it will have very dire repercussions.
Right, but again, whichever way we go, it's not more or less likely for it to come back on you, in my opinion. Either way, it's an equal and low chance because it's one family amongst many. Unless, as the man said, proof was brought forth, which would be unfortunate, but
All right, well then
unlikely.
let's move on from that. The second point is, are we going to go down to this reporter's office and leave an expose on devil worship on his desk?
We
You
don't
see?
all have to go down. You see, I can go down myself, and I will, leave the armor at the office or at the manor, and I'll go incognito. Maybe use prestidigitation to change my hair or something. Something that I'm not obviously me, and you aren't directly involved. I'll just make myself as nondescript as possible.
I, I, I suppose that's the best plan.
What are the downsides here? There's some increased suspicion and a chance of blowback for you.
But we also have to remember that we're all making a name for ourselves. I mean, remember the night we all met? You guys walked in to a standing ovation because of what you're doing for this city. So while your family name might be dragged through the mud, you yourself are a shining beacon of what it means to be a Waterdavian, what it means to be nobility in the truest sense, noble of character, not just of birth.
Um,
It sounds good when
Kason,
he says it.
how extensive is this expose? I know it doesn't mention names or anything, but is it like just a page? Is it like a page and
Yeah,
a
it's
half?
it's about a page. It's orgies and secret deals behind closed doors. Just it's bad, but it's not specific.
So what I'm saying is we either rewrite it and specifically name the Growlhuns and then drop that off, or we do as Todrin suggested and leave an addendum saying that it was brought to light that during the bloodbath at Growlhund Manor that they were involved with all of this.
I don't think we should go that far.
Why not specifically?
I don't know how I feel about pointing out another family like that.
Well, but it's true, isn't it?
I understand your hesitance to point fingers at another noble family, but is that the kind of families that we want having influence in our city?
Exactly.
This is water deep, and we
It's-
need.
Hold on. This can be answered really easily. Kason, it's been a long time since we've gone over this. Was what I know about my family a rumor, or was there some sort of proof behind it? 'Cause I know I got it in the form of a note.
Come to Whispers with me.
Okay.
Oh, this is a tough choice. I'm so on the fence.
This is such great role playing though, and I seriously I want to play this game, but I want to twist it to the way we want to do it.
Right. Oh god. Kai says, enjoy this horror. I just killed a wasp, the head detached, and its body kept on moving for far longer than 30 seconds. I can't help the camera angle. I was ghost white with fear. Yep, that is a wasp. His head got stuck in some chain link fence, ripped his head off, and the body is like walking around.
Wow.
In the head.
The head's moving too. Oh my god.
Is it trying to groom itself?
No, but it's like, man, I mean, the energy. There's no real coordination to the
All right.
movement. Yikes.
Alright, sorry guys.
No worries, no worries.
Yes, nope, I guess at the end of the day, there really isn't any proof towards my family. So I can't feel so
Threatened?
If
hypocritical
there,
about. Well, no, I can't feel so hypocritical about pointing out another family for something I feel guilty for.
Why would you feel guilty? You're not responsible. And if anything, that's a
If
problem
I-
we want to solve also.
Right, but if I had proof that my family was worshipping Asmodeus, it would be rather hypocritical to point out them and not my family.
Oh, but you don't. I gotcha.
I don't have proof, no.
well,
Okay. Well, I'm
one thing I want
kind of leaning
to,
towards revealing the Growlhuns myself as well, so if Bart's on board, I am as well.
all right. Well, gentlemen, this seems to me to be the best course of action to play Never Caught's game, but play it on our terms. If there
Agreed.
are unforeseen consequences down the road, I will do my best to own them. And if it hurts you gentlemen or your families, I would be deeply sorry. Because you gentlemen you truly are noble of spirit. But
Well, thank
I
you.
want you to know right now, this seems to be the best course of action.
Excellent. Well, let us head towards this guy's office.
All right.
What are we gonna
Well,
do?
we
No,
would-
we said we were sending you in a letter.
Yes, yes,
So-
yes.
If I can find it here, Waterdeep Wazoo is not very far away from you guys, from your tavern. It is just about 3 blocks away, just northeast. So you guys see it there on the map.
A question about the architecture of Waterdeep. Would it be feasible for Serval to just slip the paperwork under the door, as it were, while it's locked?
You could. The letter said leave it on his desk, but if that's the way you wanted to do it,
No, I'll wait until the morning and I will make sure it gets delivered.
okay. So you want to wait till the next morning then?
Well, unless would they still be open? Would he be burning the candle at both ends, as it were?
I'll put it this way. It depends on if you want this in tomorrow's newspaper or if you want it in the next day's newspaper.
Well, if we have time for Serval to write up the addendum, and as eloquently as it can be put, it pretty much put at the time of the writing of the original expose, that was what was known. Since then, new information has come to light pointing to the Growlhunt,
Okay.
and basically go along that thread of thinking.
So that's not going to take you very long at all. And to get from Trollskull Manor to there is like a 5-minute walk. So you could do all of that before midnight if you wanted to.
Nice.
All right. Then that's what we'll plan on doing. And
Okay.
Serval will. Wait, can I use prestidigitation to change my hair color and make it as nondescript brown as possible, and
I
would
think you could, yeah.
probably slouch a little bit and change
It'll be
into his common clothes and.
sure. The effect is temporary, but yeah, you could do that.
I just need it to be long enough to walk in, drop those off, and walk out.
Okay.
But yeah, it would just be, just as nondescript, as forgettable as possible, as average for human as possible.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check with advantage because you're changing your hair and trying to disguise yourself without, say, a disguised self or disguised kid.
All right, someone could accommodate that, please.
Boop, 20.
A 20. Yeah. You are pretty confident that that'll do the trick. So when you approach the door, though, the door is locked.
Well, knock on the door. Does it appear that anybody's working this late?
Well, it's the middle of the night, and you're pretty sure that the guy who runs the place lives upstairs.
All right. Well, all the much better, because if he sees me while he's dead tired and groggy, he'll even have a more difficult time remembering my face.
Okay, so you bang on the door, and just bang, bang, bang. A couple of minutes pass, bang, 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 and you can see a light come on where he's like lit a lantern or something, and he comes downstairs, and the guy is dressed in like just a nightgown and a nightcap, and he looks groggy like you kind of expected, and he opens the door kind of like just halfway and looks up at you, and he says, who are you?
Serval kind of makes his voice a little bit gravelly and says, "Here, your expose for tomorrow morning."
What? And he takes it and he just...
And then Serval walks away.
When you walk away, he just... Roll me a perception check.
Someone get that for me?
with disadvantage just because of how quickly he left it and went. Okay, you don't notice anything about what's inside, but what you do know is that this guy was groggy. You're pretty confident that he couldn't tell who you were or anything, and so he takes it. The door is closed. He doesn't chase after you. He doesn't shout or anything, but job seems to be done.
Alrighty. Go back to Trollskull Manor and yeah.
All right, so you guys return to Trollskull Manor. You pass by Floon. He's closing up the place. It's place is pretty much empty at this point. The halflings already left and gone home. And what you find next is upstairs, and let's see. So you make your way through the tap room and upstairs into the common room, and you see a flamboyantly dressed drow with an eye patch over one eye, sitting in front of the fireplace, sipping from a glass of wine. And he says, "Aha, I was beginning to worry." And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Todrin, I'll just say, you recognize this guy.
Wow.
This guy was in your vision.
Is in my vision. Yep. Son of a bitch. It's
The
still
big
loading.
J himself.
man.
So what everybody think?
Whew.
I'm going to start off by saying this. I love how political this got all of a sudden.
Yes.
I don't. I'm scared.
You should be scared. Here's another
Well,
picture of
actually,
him.
yeah,
Here's another picture of
yeah.
him.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, the big J himself. Oh no.
Just for anyone that's not aware, Serval he already knows this. We've talked about it a little. This guy is kind of a big deal in the Forgotten Realms.
Oh, okay.
Like you wouldn't know him, you wouldn't recognize him, you don't know who the guy is, you've never heard. But as far as the books go, this is a major character,
Gotcha.
this
and
this
that's
is
all I'm going
some
to say on the subject.
this character
God.
has influenced many heroes throughout the Forgotten Realms and been at odds and somewhat allies for many of them. So yeah, this is not a fight that we could win.
Oh man. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna stop streaming.